Hey everybody, this is Wizard101 back with another Wizard101 Fire walkthrough episode. Been a while since I uploaded, again. Just school and things getting in the way. I'm currently in college and finals are coming up, so I was trying to figure out a time to record around that. But if you don't remember what's going on, last time we were getting ready to go into the throne room of fire. That's what we're going to be doing this episode, and we will go ahead and get right into that. I am going to go ahead and be doing a couple things that will make our lives significantly easier through this. By all means, you do not have to do this. It'll just make our lives easier. And just to try to keep this as cut dry as possible, this will be the most efficient way for us to do it. So, first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head up to the entrance of the throne room real quick. Just going to be back this way. The throne room of fire is really easy to find. The entrance is literally right by either one. It's on either side, so if we look at the map, it's going to be by either one of the farther of the Narini heirs, so either a Kori or Shy. And there's an entrance on both sides, so you don't have to worry about it. So you don't have to worry about going to a specific side. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mark our location, and we're going to go back home real quick. For multiple reasons, for a couple of reasons. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head over to the bazaar. The reason why is because there are a couple of treasure cards that are going to help us out in this fight. So I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. I will check back whenever I find them, and I will be back in just a second. Alrighty, so we're in the bazaar. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit X. We're going to go into the buy menu. It'll automatically stick you in the buy menu under hats. The bazaar does take a little bit of time to load, so if you're running a slower computer, it may take a little bit. But what we're going to do is you're going to go from the equipment shop to housing to treasure cards. So what we're going to do here for our school, minus life and death. Life and death have a bit of a different thing they have to go through in order to do what I'm trying to do. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit the rank here. It will automatically pull up everything from 0 to 10 in that order. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll over to the ones, to the rank 1 spells, and then you're going to scroll over until you find your mat. If you're a fire wizard, you don't have to worry about this if you're any of the other schools. But if you're a fire, you're going to go and find your mass prism here. This is basically a regular prism, however, it costs 1 pip instead of 0, and it will automatically cast a prism on all enemies. We're going to go ahead and buy, I believe, one of these. I'm going to go ahead and double check that real quick, so we don't have any issues. Give me just a second. Alrighty, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and just buy one of these fire prisms to try and save on money. I am going to have to sell in order to buy the other spell that we need, but we are going to buy one mass fire prism. So go ahead and buy that mass fire prism, and I will be back in just a second once I get done with the selling and I have a little more gold. Alrighty, so once you're back and you actually have the money in order to do things, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and scroll over to the rank 4 spells. Once you're at the rank 4 spells, you're going to have to scroll through every single one of these until you find your rank 4 AoE. So an AoE on the card is symbolized by a different symbol. This is a single attack symbol, this fist symbol. You're going to go ahead and go through here until you find your 4-pip AoE. Every school has one except, like I said, Life and Death. I'll get to that in a second. So for fire, it's going to be Meteor Strike. We're going to go ahead and purchase 2 of these. So as for the other schools, the AoEs that you're going to be looking for ice, you're going to be looking at, what you're going to be looking for is Blizzard. Storm is going to actually be not looking for a 4-pip AoE, but an X rank AoE, and that is going to be this one, which is Tempest. Myth is also going to be a 4-pip AoE. You're going to be looking for Humongo Frog. There is also a 6-pip version of Humongo Frog. However, it is never in the bazaar, so don't even bother looking for it. Balance. Your 4-pip AoE is going to be Sandstorm, which looks like this. Now for the 2 remaining schools, Life and Death, we'll go ahead and start out with Death. Death, you're going to be looking for Death. If you can survive long enough to get this spell off, you're going to be looking for your rank 7 AoE, which is going to be Scarecrow. The chance that you pull this off is usually very slim to none. So, Death, you survive well enough with your drains that I honestly would not worry about trying to, that I would honestly not worry about trying to pull off an AoE. Same with Life, to be honest. Life, you have enough heals that you don't really have to worry about it. However, if you do want to go down the AoE route, you're going to have... Let's see if I remember this, because I haven't played Life. If you're going to be going down... If you're going to be going down the... if you're going to be going down this path, you're going to have to get one of these old treasure cards, if they're still in stock whenever you get to them. The new treasure card for Forest Lord is going to be a rank 8 pip spell. Well, no, actually I take that back. This is the new Forest Lord. It's the old Rebirth, that's 7 pips. But you're going to get this, which is Forest Lord, if you want to go down the AoE route. That's all I have for the AoEs in order to make our lives easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick one Meteor Strike in, because the first fight that you do not need more than 1 Meteor Strike. I will go ahead and meet you whenever we are inside the Throne Room of Fire. Alrighty, we are inside the Throne Room of Fire. I am going to go ahead and warn you that these enemies do like to stick closer to the walls, so make sure you are all the way up against the wall whenever you're traveling. Since you are in a dungeon, you are the only one that's going to be able to get all the loot in here, so it is worth sticking around if you're patient enough to do that. We, however, are not, so we're just going to keep going. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Professor Winthrop here.
There you are. I've got my notes now. Let's get to work tracking down the Order of the Fang, shall we? We'll most likely need the use of a serpent's staff, so I'll trust you to procure one for us. According to my notes, the Order of the Fang used magic to hide their location. Only by using a powerful artifact in this map room can we undo their spell. There! That slot must be where the serpent staff would go. and I remember Prince Manu Narini swung it at my head when the Tuts attacked. I'd rather not have a repeat of that. Could you go down the hall and battle Prince Manu Narini for the Serpent Staff? We must set things right.
Whenever you first get in this dungeon, it will give you a prompt that says, "This is a dungeon. It will take approximately this much time in order to beat." That time is only if you are properly leveled and if you know what you're doing. I am also going to go ahead and let you know that the difficulty in this dungeon is far higher than any of the dungeons we have seen outside. These guys here, these Croca mummies, are rank 3 elites. They all have about 435 health, and that's a piece. So on top of the bosses you face, it can get really out of hand really quickly. They also like to pull you from quite far away, so if you're doing anything like this where you're wanting to collect reagents, make sure you are behind them and not in front of them. All of these dungeon clues I will go ahead and read for the new players to get an experience for it.
None shall pass through the door unless all the braziers burn with red flames.
What it's referring to are these braziers here. You can interact with them. What you want to do is you want to hit X until they show an orange flame like this. These braziers do come into play in the final 2 dungeons of the other 2 areas of this world, so we'll go. Just keep that in mind. This is Prince Manu Narini. The reason why we're not putting in the mass prism yet is because...
Who goes there? You shall pay for disturbing me, young wizard.
I'm all the way over here. You shouldn't have been able to get me. But he is the only one that is fire in this fight. He does have 550 health, which is a fair bit. And his minion, like I said, is that 435 health Croca mummy. So, this can be a very challenging fight. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the most challenging one you face in this dungeon, but we'll go ahead and fight him and get him out of the way. We're going to go ahead and fire prism first turn. That way he doesn't decide to pull anything ridiculous. Now that we fire prismed, we pulled the power pip, which means we're going to be able to cast our meteor next turn. We're going to go ahead and discard any card in here that you feel is unnecessary to have. I'm going to go ahead and do Link, because there's not really any point in us having Link out at this point in time. And you're going to go ahead and hit draw. It'll pull out your meteor strike, and you'll tell that it's a treasure card because it'll have the sheen. We're going to go ahead and blade, so we can do enough damage, hopefully to at the least kill Manu. Once we got this up, if treasure cards are up in your hand, they are golden, so... so you're aware, as a recap for what Harald said all the way back in episode 1, these are single-use treasure cards. Once you use them, they're done. If they fizzle, they appear back in your side deck, and you have to draw them again. Should kill, because this usually hits pretty powerfully. Yep. As you can see, that 4-pip AoE made our lives so much easier. You can also leave marks in this dungeon. There are some dungeons where you are not able to leave marks, but you are able to leave marks in this one, so it makes traveling a lot easier. But I just like running just because I like doing the dungeon the right way. So I will go ahead and get back to you whenever I am back in the map room. Alrighty, back in the map room. I have a funny feeling this is not going to be the only thing we have to do.
Good work. Now to use the staff. We'll soon figure out the Order's secret location.
Hopefully.
It's no use. The staff isn't working. What could I have done wrong?
Professor Winthrop stares at his notes in frustration, then looks up suddenly with a bright gleam in his eye.
That's it. In ancient times, the Eye of Croc was placed here in this room, but Croc Common recently took it in a show of power. You must go further into Croc Common's lair, defeat him, and take back the Eye of Croc. Then we can find the Order of the Fang at last.
Also, every quest in a dungeon usually gives you the max or close to max of... gives you the maximum or close to maximum amount of experience. So running through them the first time will usually get you a level or two. However, if you decide to replay the dungeon, then you're not going to be getting a full level. Then you're not going to be getting a full level every time. You're not going to be getting full value every time. This is going to be a little bit of a long run. Reason being, this gate's blocked off, and Croc Common is right back there. So we're going to have to run all the way around. Give me just a second, and I will meet you in the next area we need to be. Alrighty, this is the next area we need to be. This is another puzzle, so we'll go ahead and read the book pedestal here.
Where the two suns shine, the way will be clear, but not if there is any moon shining.
This is also another interactable thing that will come into play in later dungeons. The clue on this one is when the two suns shine, so both of the sun obelisks need to be turned on, but not when there are any moons shining, so you need to turn both of these moon obelisks off. We'll go ahead and turn both the moon obelisks off. It will usually try to turn one of them on whenever you turn on the sun obelisks, so keep that in mind. These Narini fire spirits are the same thing as the Croca mummies. You're not going to be fighting any of them unless you get pulled, so you don't need to worry about it. What we need to be doing is we need to be going all the way to the end here. These Narini house guards are like the Croca mummies and the fire spirits, however they are fire. Croc Common should be right back here. Croc Common actually used to wander the area around here, but he doesn't anymore. He does have some nice he does get dialogue now, though.
You will test your might against me, and you will fail. Why even try, weakling?
Alrighty, this is where I said we needed the mass fire prism, because both of these guys are fire, and they both have fairly decent resist. They both have a lot of resist. Croc Common has 80 resist to fire, and the Narini House Guard has 40. Which means that unless we use prisms, we are not going to win this fight at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go in the spell deck. We're going to go ahead and go to treasure cards, put in the mass fire prism and the meteor strike. And we'll go ahead and get started into this and hope we pull good RNG and don't die in the first 2 rounds. Also, if you cast a treasure card and end up dying, you will not get that treasure card back. So that is just some words of advice that you may want to keep in mind. We're going to go ahead and cast Mass Fire Prism here. Most likely they're both going to shield, because that's about how my luck works. Surprisingly, neither one of them did. We do want to try to keep our health high because Croc Common does know Fire Wyvern, which is a 4-pip spell. So so just keep that in mind. Let's see, I need delete the pixie, draw the meteor, delete the imp, delete the pixie. This guy has like 700 health, which is more than even Nightshade, so yeah, that's a thing. Let's go ahead and delete the Fire Cat too. Hope we pull a blade next turn. Most likely, with my luck, it's just gonna straight up not give me the blade. These guys also do know how to weakness, so just also bear that in mind. Delete, delete, goodbye weakness. Crockett Common also knows another really annoying spell. He knows Smoke Screen, which is a minus 40 accuracy. Go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and imp off this weakness. Probably gonna heal next turn, just to be on the safe side. Because that is a sunbird. Yep. I hit minimum, but it still did enough to bring us down to being big sad. This is why I said if you can survive long enough to get the meteor off, that'd be best case scenario. Are you gonna fire off again? No. Oh, fire bats. Honestly, that's worse. Because I'm dead next turn. Yep, I'm dead. So yeah, that's what I mean by this fight can be really difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and come back whenever... I know you guys would probably want to see me beat that fight. However, I'm gonna go ahead and just come back whenever I have that... whenever I have beaten that fight, because that's going to probably take a long time, and I don't want to suck up the recording time trying to get it done. I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. That was way too dumb. And I'm probably not going to kill anyway. Surprisingly. Good thing I... Alrighty, well, that's done. Crockett Common drops a bunch of those spell elements, and Crockett Common will drop a bunch of those spell elements and treasure cards. He also drops a couple of... Apparently he dropped a couple of pet snacks. Let's see what we got. Ruined Hood. That's not a very good hood. Because I can't use it. Spell elements, treasure cards. More spell elements and treasure cards. Yeah, about like that. He does have this second chance chest where you can go and throw in some crowns in order to try and get one of his pieces of gear. I wouldn't recommend doing that. You can get his gear fairly easily from the bazaar. So I will be back once I am in the map room. Alrighty, I am close enough to the map room. Once you defeat Crockett Common, the gate opens up, so you're able to get through it. Professor Winthrop, I have the magical eye, which I'm sure is probably just a ruby.
Splendid! We have the Eye of Croc. Since you defeated Crockett Common and Prince Manunarini, you deserve the honor of discovering the Order of the Fang. Go on. Take the Eye of Croc and the Serpent Staff and place them in the slots on the platform. Then, repeat the ancient words I taught you.
Alrighty, so now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and just do this thing.
You do as the professor says, and shout the ancient words Al-Kashara Kazam. A bright light flashes, and with a crackle, the map reveals the secret meeting place of the Order of the Fang.
You've done it! The secret location of the Order of the Fang is revealed. Never would have thought to look there. It's on another island. I need to gather one or two other things here. Meet me back in the Altar of Kings. We can continue from there.
And that is what we shall do. The easiest way to do it is to just go ahead and teleport to the is just to go ahead and teleport to the Oasis. Since you already defeated everything in the dungeon, it should not pull up the sigil. If it does pull up the sigil, just ignore it. It'll expire within half an hour.
Excellent. We finally know where the Order of the Fang is. Now we can find them, get the Croconomicon, and keep it from falling into evil hands. Now that we know where to find the Order of the Fang, we'll need permission to explore there. Go speak with Sergeant Major Talbot by the lake outside. Tell him we may have found a way to set things right again.
When you complete a final quest of one of these areas, you get a load of spell elements. So, and I don't know why it doesn't consolidate down, but I believe I got, let's see, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. You get 5 spell elements of both your rank 1 and 2 spell.
What ho! The Order of the Fang may have the secret to defeating the Tuts, eh? And it's an old book? Indeed. We must ensure that book doesn't fall into the wrong hands, then. Their inner lair must be explored at once. There is no time to lose. We set up ferries to Crocus Sphinx before the Crocs attacked. Good thing, too. I barely have time to think. The boat's there in front of me. Take it across to the island. I hope you find this lair where the Order of the Fang hides out. We could use some good news.
Alright. So that is it for the Temple of Fire. Next time we're gonna be going through the Crocus Sphinx. As a fire wizard, I will go ahead and say that in the Crocus Sphinx, damage over times are your friend. They like to fire shield a lot. Because they like to use fire shield a lot, they like to use tower shield a lot. So these 2 spells right here are going to be your best friends. So we'll go ahead and get into that next episode. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you would go ahead and like and subscribe. Hopefully more people will be able to view my videos and enjoy them. And with all that, I will see you in the next one. Bye!